Gizmodo.com. The company's latest design takes inspiration from Star Wars The Mandalorian and includes a baby Yoda trapped inside who can use the Force to manipulate the ball's trajectory. Not quite. I mean, they did a good job of making it sound cooler than it actually is, so I'll give them that. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel where I talk and do everything pinball. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. I've already released 2 videos today regarding Mandalorian, and I'm hoping due to those videos' release and how short they were, that will also make this a shorter video than my typical first impression. I first want to congratulate Stern on a successful launch. This seems to go off and much better than their previous title, but they had a little bit of a leak right there close to the finish line before the release, but overall, I think the launch was much more successful. There wasn't any kind of copyright issues with them releasing the video on Facebook or YouTube and the audio being muted and stuff of that nature. For those of you out there that don't care to listen to subjective opinions and everything, especially coming from me, then this video is not going to be for you. So when we're talking about my first impression, let's talk about my real first impression whenever I received the leaked image of the LE. This was very grainy and it didn't really represent the machine very well. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put this out there. I'm not going to do a video on it or anything like that. We're so close to the launch and we're going to see all the high res images and everything in Mirror just a few hours away. So I was like, I got it. I saw it and I just let it rest. But initially, whenever I first saw it, the first thing I noticed was obviously the big baby Yoda inside of the cabinet. And I was like, well, this is obviously the LE. I doubt very seriously we're going to be seeing this baby Yoda in all tiers. And I was wrong. But we'll go over more talks on the baby Yoda a little bit further into the video. First, let's talk about the art. This is a rare occasion where all art packages for all 3 tiers are honestly good in my opinion. I think I actually prefer the Pro due to I'm kind of biased towards the color orange. I don't know, it's just kind of a favorite of mine. So orangish, yellowish hue going on with the Pro tickles my pickle better, I guess is a word to say it, but the Premium is also good, as well as the LE. The art packages, I just need to compliment Martinez on the art that I have, as of right now, I can't think of anything negative about it. All characters are in the show are represented on the artwork, except for one. There's one person that's not on there, and those of you that follow all that stuff and junk know why she's not on there. Oh, hi. But not having her on the playfield or on the artwork or anything like that is not a make or break, I don't think, for anybody actually. Although I do feel that she was a main character in the theme, so I guess it's but whatever. I don't think that was Stern's decision on removing her from the game. I'm more than willing to bet that that was Disney's decision, and that got passed down to Stern, that developing the art, you were not able to put her in it. That is pure thoughts coming from me. There's no evidence of that, but I'm willing to bet money that that's more than likely what happened. Now let's talk about playfield layout and design. And this is also another rare occasion where I'm looking at your Pro and your Premium. I'm not going to talk about the LE because it's the same thing as the Premium, only with extra shiny and fluff. But as far as like the core design and layout, it's the Premium versus the Pro. And whenever I'm looking at every new release, guys, I tend to at least let you guys know which one I would prefer to have if I had to choose between the Pro or Premium, or which one I felt like you were getting the best bang for your buck. And I feel that for this game, it's a tough one to call. As of right now, with just the footage that we've seen, it's very difficult for me to go, well, it's obviously the Premium. Well, it's obviously the Pro. They look like they're both possible winners at this point. Now, when it comes to the layout, it's a fan layout, and that is not my preference. Not that I dislike them. It's just that I tend to fancy towards the more obscure layouts versus your typical shots all lined out accordingly. But I have to say that I'm not turned off by what I'm seeing so far. This looks like a safe shooter when it comes to successful shots, at least. So, because when you make a shot, it's going to come smoothly back to you, except for one, and I kind of went over that a little bit in my shots and layout video. There is the horseshoe style that doesn't smoothly come back. It goes underneath your right ramp, hits the side rail, and then it looks like it more than likely goes straight to your left slingshot, which is going to put it in an uncontrollable state of chaos. And once again, we have no gameplay of just someone playing it, so it's difficult to tell at this point. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the Baby Yoda in the pinball machine, and that is the fact that, one, we wanted Baby Yoda in this game once we heard for sure that it was going to be Mandalorian. I mean, he's the main character right behind Mando. So it's like you have Baby Yoda that we all wanted, and then Stern gives it to us, but then we're like, well, maybe not quite like that. We kind of wanted it another way. So when I first saw the Baby Yoda in the leaked image, I was like, it's a pretty big Yoda. I can't wait to see what he does. And because I knew he was going to have to be on the premium, I figured they were going to yank it out on the pro. And no, they put it in all tiers. And I was like, wow, so we get Baby Yoda in all tiers? That's pretty cool. I wonder why that is. It's because he doesn't do anything. He's literally a doll. I mean, he's a hollowed, shelled figurine that does nothing. And people were complaining, I saw, whether it be on Facebook and even on Pinside, for the little bit that I have perused, and they're saying that the Baby Yoda takes up too much real estate. And honestly, I don't feel that he takes up a lot of real estate. He's literally got two shots in and underneath him. He's not blocking any shots. He's got the orbit that goes underneath him, as well as the center ramp that also goes through him, technically. He's nothing but a hollow shell. I think what's throwing people off on this is the scaling factor of him. He's very large in comparison to other things in the game, specifically the Razor Crest. If you see the Razor Crest, its size is quite smaller than Baby Yoda. And this is just probably a little off-putting when it comes to us looking into a game. And this is not uncommon, guys. This has been done plenty of times in games. I mean, you can bring it to even The Simpsons, where you had your upper left playfield portion where you had the couch. The couch is relatively small, whereas you had Homer Simpson's head that was relatively large. But what was the difference between Homer Simpson's large head and big old Baby Yoda? It was the fact that Homer Simpson's large head, say it with me, did something. It reacted with the game. It turned. It moved around. It did something. So it wasn't just static. So I'm thinking that's also what people are harping on, and I agree with, is that I feel like Baby Yoda should have done something. And we could go on more than likely for hours on what they could have done with the Baby Yoda in the corner, whether it be the sizing or doing something else different with magnets. I mean, we'll just throw some ideas out there as it is. I mean, you could go from the ball coming up the center ramp and his hand, like, his fingers move a little bit and it does the whole push the ball into that mech that brings the ball to the lower playfield or the mini playfield. Stuff like that. I mean, like I said, it could go on and on. Other ways of moving the ball, but that's just me talking out my ass right there when it comes to that, of the potential possibilities of it. But I think bare minimum, well, they did bare minimum, and that was the fact that they just put a static doll in there. But I think something else that they could have done that I don't feel like would have been too outrageous was have him react with the game to some sort of fashion, whether it be his head turns a little bit, or his arm moves up and down every once in a while. I mean, his ears can kind of like move around a little bit. I think having him react with what you're doing in the game would have made this game easily a home run. And I'm not saying that this Baby Yoda static doll breaks the game, but that is probably the miss when it comes to making this a full package of awesomeness. And then we can move away from talking about the Baby Yoda portion. I don't want to have to beat that nail any further into the wood, but then we can move on to the wire forms versus the plastic ramps. This is where I'm like, okay, I get it. This is typical. What you're going to lose on your premiums versus your pros is that you're going to get your plastic versus metal, you're going to lose magnets, and you're going to lose a lot of mechs that do motion. So I'm honestly surprised we still got the mech that diverts the ball to the mini playfield. I'm honestly surprised that we still even got the mini playfield on the Pro. That was also a surprise to me. When I saw the playfield in the leaked image, I was like, well, that's also going to be yanked out for the Pro. So it's nice that we still got that. We're short a flipper and the moving of it, but I think overall I'm surprised.
I was so surprised. Were you surprised? I was surprised.
And I'm glad that they kept at least the mini playfield in for the Pro. But here's my thing. I feel like when it comes to plastic versus wire forms, that's obviously a personal preference and also cost. But the way I look at it for this particular game is that they could sell the wire form separately as an accessory. I mean, you can buy other things for the game. Why not give others with the Pro the option to upgrade or at least change to the wire forms? Because there's nothing different aside from the building materials. The structure of the game is still the same, so they could easily move the wire forms into place to replace the plastic ramps if they so wanted to. That's just an option I feel like they should have on the website for those that want to get the Pro, but still want those wire forms without paying the extra couple of grand for the premium. Why not cop up, I don't know, maybe a couple of $100, and that's still shooting a little high, but to get the option for wire forms, that would be pretty cool. When it comes to talking about the mini playfield and how we play on it and what all you do with it, this is something that I'm gonna have to see in action, guys. I need to see how this plays. I'm afraid to say that it looks good or it's going to be awesome because I made the mistake of thinking that Black Knight Sword of Rage was going to be so awesome when I saw the trailers for it with the upper playfield on that and then the stuff, what I thought you were going to be able to do with it. And then I saw the gameplay and I was like, I changed my mind. So when it comes to the mini playfield and how that functions and how it shoots, I'm going to wait to see what all that does for the gameplay footage that we're going to get down the road. And when will that be? Well, according to Jack Danger's post today, he's not going to be streaming this game until the 21st. 10 days away. That is a little weird. That's almost really questionable why they want to wait 10 days to show everyone how the game shoots. That may be the longest gap in between an initial reveal to a stream. I want to say they've gone maybe 7 days. Maybe. But we're going a full 10. I know it's 3 days, whatever. But you got to think, a lot of people, including myself, am not going to put an order in on a game until I see how it shoots, at the bare minimum. There's plenty of people out there, including myself currently, who have not bought new in-box until I have played the game. But me personally, I think I have a pretty good judgment on what games I know I would like. That's what I judge them on, guys. Whenever I'm giving you my feelings, this is honestly how I feel about the game. So whenever I watched the game Jurassic Park and I gave it so many kudos on how awesome I believe that game was going to be, and then so behold it was. I mean, everyone happened to agree because it was entertaining to watch. That says something to me. If I can watch somebody else play a pinball machine and I'm enthralled with like just entertainment, then that tells me that this game is more than likely going to be damn good. But sadly, I'm not going to get any gameplay footage until Dead Flip's stream. There's a chance that we may see something sooner than that. We'll see. But I want to get close to wrapping up this video by saying Brian Eddy, for those of you who don't know, designed this game. Even though I have not seen it shoot yet, I do want to say congratulations, and I am so glad that this title, as of right now, looks better than your previous game. To those of you at Stern, thank you for doing what you're doing, and that is making these games for the enjoyment of others, obviously. Without you, I don't know if this hobby would be anywhere near, it wouldn't be, where it's at today. And I believe until we get some gameplay footage, guys, that's really all I've got to say about this game so far. I think it's going to be a great success for Stern. Without a doubt, this is going to sell tremendously well. Aside from the baby Yoda that does nothing, that may be a little too large, I think the game looks like it's going to be a hit. But like I said before, I need to see it shoot. And until then, I don't know if I'll have another Mandalorian video. We'll see, but I doubt it. So when we do finally get to see how this game shoots, I definitely will give you an update on whether or not this is something that's going to be going behind me. So like I said in my previous video, I wanted to go over some of the comments. So I'm just going to randomly go through here, pick out certain comments, and we'll read through it and see if it's either questions, comments, whatever, concerns. Let's go at it. So first up, we have Kevin Moore. So far, no sounds and music, so that's an unknown. Plus, Stern hasn't really resolved the Playfield issues, so if I get one, it will be a used one most likely. So Kevin, they have full assets on this game. There will be sounds and music from the show that has been placed out there for all of us to read. But yeah, this has got all assets. Every assets except for the one ass that I really care about. This one is from Draven. Kinda wish they'd gone something differently with the helmet playfield. Kinda tricky. A whistling bird weapon shooting stormtroopers would have at least made sense. And I can't believe Grogu isn't animated. Walmart sells a nice quality toy that is $60. I'd gladly pay for that for animatronics. Yep, as I state in this video, I concur. It should have been someone animated. This one is from Ronald. It says, I'm not loving the color palette on the cabinet art or playfield, but that's completely subjective. I could see folks liking it. Gonna wait and see on the gameplay, but I'm not too hype on this one. I like the show, but not sure I'm really into the theme for the pin. I'm not getting a great theme integration vibe. Maybe my mind will change once I see some gameplay. Yeah, I'm on board with you right there. I mean, the color palette for me, I don't have any concerns about it or problems with it. But the theme, it's one of those games where, when it comes to theme, when I heard it's Mandalorian, I enjoyed the show. I do. But on theme alone, it doesn't sell to me. That's just me. I have never been a big Star Wars fan, but I think what I like more about Mandalorian than the rest of the Star Wars universe stuff is that it's kind of like a space western, and there was a space western back in the early 2000s. For some of you out there may remember Firefly. I think that's probably why I like Mandalorian so much, because of that show right there. And for those of you out there that have not watched The Mandalorian, then I recommend it. I do. Especially if you liked Firefly. And if you never watched Firefly, if you like, I mean, it's whatever, but that was a really good show and that got canceled, but whatever. Todd Tucky says, will be a smash. No doubt. I'm sure it will be. Cigars and Pins says, I'm stoked that this got made. The Mandalorian is such an awesome show. I put my deposit down on the premium today. I love the artwork too. Can't wait to hear the call-outs and music. This one is from Bruno. 2 toys that don't do anything costing between $50 and $100 each. a small upper playfield, the only moving part in a very simple conception, some magnets. I hope the layout at least will be fun to shoot and the code be well developed except for the very cool premium art package. I'm not excited. Well, I'm going to correct you on the pricing for these things, 50 to 100 bucks. I doubt they cost that much. Chances are they cost quite a bit less than that. So what are your thoughts on the baby Yoda? That tends to be the stickler for a lot of people, and a little bit including me on it. It's one of those things that I feel it may have to grow on you. Let me know down in the comments below. Give me the thumbs up, guys. That really helps out the channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe button. And until next time, guys, peace out.